Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody had a happy new year. Can everybody hear me? Thumbs up. There we go. All right. So we've gone over a lot of things since the start of this. We started out with CRM. Again, I can't stress enough how important that CRM is for you. It's the way we do communicate. It's the way we contact people. It's the way we nurture uh, and so many things and see the activity of the person in our CRM. So started with that. We've gone on, done sellers leads. We talked about how to get those, and now we're going to kind of transition into buyer as we move into the spring. Which can't come quick enough, in my opinion. It's too cold out there, but um, as we move into that, we're going to see that pent up demand with interest rates coming down. Um, we're going to see that pent up demand that I think we saw through 23 and towards the end of 22 start to come out. So we as agents need to be in front of it, as many people and potential buyers as we can. So I know we've talked about many of these things, but I'm going to quickly go over them. And then I want to go over that buyer journey and uh, understanding what phase that journey that buyer is in and how we should deal with each of those phases. And I think understanding each one of those kind of helps us in how we talk to them and how we send them things and what we do. Quickly sourcing buyer leads. It can be as easy as an open house. You don't have to have a listing. And if you do have a listing, you should be leveraging that listing to get many buyer leads. An open house is one that you actually get to physically be in front of somebody and meet. So you are establishing a relationship a little bit farther down than just somebody inquiring online. So that's why I love open houses. Many a deal that came through an open house, and you'll do open houses that are flops, and you'll do open houses that you wished you had two or three agents there helping you. So preparing for that open house, I think that's a session in itself, and doing a stellar job at that open house, and then being able to get those people's information so you can follow up with them after the open house. I will tell you, we have tested the open house uh, lead boost through KV Core, where it advertises that open house. And what I loved about those leads, it gave you a very easy reason to call them, and that is, hey, I see you inquired about my open house I'm having Sunday. Just wanted to let you know I'll be there from 2 to 4. And by the way, I'm going to have some information maybe on the neighborhood or maybe on other houses available in that neighborhood. Uh, but give them something, and then hopefully you'll have that conversation. They'll actually say they'll be there. But it gives you a reason to call them and introduce yourself and get that conversation going way before they come. And we've had relatively good luck with the open houses. I also think that lead, when they inquire about an open house and actually put their information in, that lead actually, in my opinion, is very interested or farther down that road because they're wanting information on when this open house is. They're just not necessarily window shopping in a lot of property boosts we may do. So open houses is an excellent one. Continue to try to be. We've talked about being the community expert, setting up those. You can set up pages in KV Core. You can actually set them up, I think, in Bullseye if you're on that, or whatever website you're using. Generally, you can make a community page and write a little something about it. So whether it's the subdivision you live in or individual subdivisions, and write a little something about it, write a little something about that area, then maybe even create that market report like we talked about, sign up for and see homes that are for sale, see homes that have sold in this area. Again, it's all about getting in front of people and then renting space in their head and becoming that expert for that area. So most all your websites are able to do that, create that community page and work on being the community expert. I think renters is a excuse me. I think it's a low hanging fruit that most agents don't want to mess with because it's not generating that immediate sale. However, I will tell you, we already have an agent. Uh, I think it was about 10 days ago. Showed a renter a lead, and this will tell you how renters can be used. He showed a renter a lead, create a relationship. That renter is only renting for 6 months to a year, and then they're looking for a 700 home. That renter also, because he did a great job in in showing that he was professional, and they asked for cards. He's already had other people call him about buying a house from that renter. Never underestimate the renter just because you think it's not going to generate that immediate sale um, the next few months. So yes, this one renter that he did is probably 6 months to a year out from buying, but he was able to create the relationship and trust, and they're recommending him now. Uh, Renters are also easy to market. Um, it's easy to get a list of addresses at whatever apartment complex that you market to. It's easy to talk about the benefits of renting and buying. Um, I would say, dare say, well over 50% renters want to buy a house for some reason they can. And if you think about it, if you target these higher or higher dollar, more luxury apartment complexes, I would say they do a credit check. So those people are not uh, may not have a credit score, they may not be in an income position quite yet, but they cannot be that far down the road. So there had to have been some pre-qualification for them to even be able to get in some of these apartments right around here. So uh, definitely do that. We have one agent actually doing the rent to own, and I saw his Facebook post, and I saw probably 30 people asking for more information under his post, and that of course is the rent to own through Home Partners of America. So again, that was another lead generation, that buyer source that you can work on. And then obviously you can boost properties, you get those leads, interacting on social media, promoting any property in at least in our brokerage, there's ways to promote those and get those people to sign up for them. And then of course you can buy leads. I often tell you, if you're going to buy a lead, please or buy leads through whatever Zillow or Realtor.com or any of these other Z-buyers or these platforms. Please contact me first. I have spent bukus and bukus of money with many zeros on the back of it doing those things. Some of them are okay. Some of them just fail miserably, and they're horrible. So I would encourage you to come ask me about those, and because I've probably done it, and there's some okay ones out there. There's some ones that aren't good, and you're just going to get a bunch of junk. But I've often said this, and use just a little more visual thing. But if you think of a pond, and all the same leads are swimming in the same pond. If they're looking for a home in Rutherford County, they're looking in all the same sites. They're looking at Zillow. They're looking at Realtor.com. They're looking, and every now and then your site's going to pop. So they're all in that same pond. The difference is Zillow has a whole lot of money, so they got a whole lot of fishing poles out there because they got a whole lot of money they can afford on bait to stick out there. So they're just showing up more times. Same thing with Realtor.com and even Homes.com. All able to put more bait out there for those leads to bite. You're putting the same bait that they are. If you're using KB Core, your KB Core website is, I mean, it's got the ask a question, it's got the schedule a showing, it's got more information, please. It's got all the same buttons that Realtor.com does, and so does um, Zillow. And the difference is when they hit Zillow, they're selling that lead to y'all. But it's the same lead. And I know this because we have through lead generation. We've done that, and we paid for Zillow for a while, and I was getting the same lead on Zillow that I got through my own generation, or an agent got through Zillow, but yet we had them in our database already because they had bit on some of our uh, bait. So just remember, all these leads are the same, um, and it's a numbers game. I get it, but we need to, as we get these leads in. One of the things I want to talk to you about is just the phases of a lead. Okay. Um, so when we look at leads, they come the journey of a lead, let's say. Um, they, here, they come in down this journey. There's an awareness phase and there's a consideration stage. There's a consideration stage and then there's a decision stage. But through these stages, if we understand where these people are in the stages, we can deliver better material to them to help them. Also, we know how to talk to them better. So I often hear these leads are junk. These leads are junk. Um, if they got a good phone number and a good email address, are they really junk, or are they just not in the stage, the journey that they're ready to talk to you? So let's keep that in mind. And as we get these leads, if we understand where they're at in this buyer's journey or in this seller's journey, I think it helps us in how we talk to them and how we market them. So let's talk about the awareness stage. These people know that there's a problem. They know that my house is too small. We're just getting married and need a place to live. We're renting an apartment and they've gone up on rent. Um, they're relocating here. They're moving from here. So move up, move down buyers. All these people are at that stage where, okay, it's time. We need to do something. They're aware of it. Now, where if they can or can't, it's a different story. And they're going to figure that out in the next phase, which is or stage, which is iteration stage. So this is where they're evaluating their problem and how they're going to fix that problem. This is where they're starting to do research. They're doing it on their own. They're online Googling, how do I buy my first home, or how to, homes for sale that are at least 2,000 square feet because they're a move up buyer, or homes for sale in a retirement community, or whatever. This is that consideration stage that they're now thinking of am I going to take care of the problem that I had in the awareness state. Um, I think most of our leads we get online are awareness, and then the next one would be consideration. If we're getting them in that consideration stage, that's good. I mean, they're down that journey a little bit farther, and now they are researching for an agent to help them get to the last stage, which is the decision, and that is the purchase. So that's the stages, but I do think there's one more stage, and I think that's a loyalty stage, because I think after the decision stage, we push a lot, and you've heard us talk a lot, the post marketing follow up, and making these people your advocate, because eventually I want you to have enough closings and enough loyalty from your past clients that all you're dealing with is referrals, and you're dealing with past clients. Those are so much fun. I mean, they're going to use you. So I think there is another stage in this journey. People just don't talk about it, and you've heard me many times have these people become advocates for you, and they will it'll grow your business, because every time they refer somebody and every time you do a good job with them, now you've created another advocate, and so on and so forth. So it really blossoms from there. I do the goal, in my opinion, is, and you've seen my bullseye, or really Brian Buffini's bullseye of the lead stages. I really think if you have around 100 people in your A and they're advocates, you'll not want for business lead when you get. So if we make that our goal, if we make getting them from that D to that C to that B to that A, in our lead flow and trying to figure out where your D's are. Your D's are most likely in that awareness stage. Your C's and B's are in that consideration stage, and of course your decision stage is your A's, and your loyalty stage would be in that A's. Um, the other thing is on this awareness side, you are sending those people. You've got to determine whether they're just window shopping, they're never going to buy, they're living in a $300,000 home, but they love looking at $1 million homes online. That those people, of course, then you may want to just keep them in your database, but never reach out to them. The ones that aren't window shopping, but they may be a year down the road, those are the people we're going to look after and care for a little more, and we get them to that consideration stage. In that awareness and consideration, those people are actually looking and looking at agents and looking at the content they're putting out and looking at all those things that they may need. So I hope all that helps. Does anybody have any questions or comments from what we talked about today or even in the past? Okay, well, look, let's really go through our database this week. I want you to look at the different sources. Look at our plays from the past. Go in your portal, look at the plays that we've done in the past. Pick a couple of those plays. Let's make sure we're at least this week. Let's at least write 5 handwritten letters to our A people and ask for those referrals. Again, those referrals are so much better than any online lead source that you're going to use today. Whether it's Facebook or Instagram or you're buying leads, a referral is so much better. So be asking for them, and they're free. Except for the cost of a stamp to mail a letter, it's well spent money. So just reach out to them, ask them how they did for their new year. Do they have any resolutions? Did they have a good holiday season? It's an easy time with content for you to be able to write something and write something. I think you got another 2-3 weeks that you can write and check on how their holidays went and see if they got any New Year's resolution. And then again, ask them for the referral. Just let them know that you're never too busy for their referral. You've been through the 100 days of greatness. You probably have some of those stickers that you put on the back of the envelopes left. So if you got those, use those. So let's really work on that. Let's get people lined up that are in that awareness or consideration stage for this spring. So I think if you got any leads in there that are in that consideration stage, you should be sending them content of value, buyer's guides, of course, home searches. If they're looking for a certain neighborhood, be sending them information on that neighborhood or that area, and really showing your value. So while they're in that consideration stage, they're more likely to use you. Again, the more good content you send them, the more you have rented space in their head, the more likely when they raise their hand, they're going to be looking for you to call on them to make their move and move forward in their home buying or home selling stage. I hope everybody did have a good holiday, and I know I did. And looking forward to this year with the winning playbook. Again, we're through the month of January. We're really going to be working on buyers because I really see a good buyer season or predicting buyer season this year. So I want you as agents to be in a position to really capitalize on that, and can't wait to hear about your wins. And please reach out to me if you have any questions or any concerns, and we will see you next Monday.